Today, we are going to be talking about how 3 entrepreneurs faced rejection on Shark Tank, but then turned it into fuel for billion-dollar empires. These are entrepreneurs who blazed their own path forward. So let's take a deep dive into their incredible journey. Their stories will remind you that it's never too late to start, that we should not only use failure as a lesson, but use it to kickstart our greatest comeback. Stick till the end because trust me, you don't want to miss out on this. Let's kick things off with the one and only Jamie Siminoff. Now, some of you might not know who I'm talking about, but allow me to jumpstart your memory. Jamie is none other than the proud owner of the doorbell camera that's probably watching your front porch as we speak. That's right, he's the mastermind behind Ring. That's the doorbell with an integrated video camera that sends alerts and the video feed directly to the owner's smartphone. Not only that, but homeowners are then able to see and speak with whoever is at the front door, or ignore the visitor completely. Sounds like a great invention, doesn't it? Well, turns out not everyone thought the same, especially 10 years ago. I mean, back in 2013, Jamie appeared on Shark Tank ready to look for investors for his unique product. He needed the capital to turn his product into a commercial success. He was confident that sharks would fight for the chance to invest. After all, his product was revolutionary. Since many burglars tend to ring the doorbell to see if anyone is home before a break-in, the device would come in very handy as an added security measure. But what he didn't expect was none of them to be interested, including tech-savvy investor Mark Cuban. Before his appearance on the show, his invention was already bringing in $1 million in annual sales. So, during the pitch, he asked for $700,000, valuing his company at $7 million. But all of the sharks backed out one by one. All of them thought that the product wasn't worth it. It wouldn't survive in the intensely competitive market out there. Still, Kevin O'Leary offered Jamie a tough deal, which came with a huge catch. He offered a loan of $700,000, a claim to 10% of all sales until the loan was paid off, a 7% royalty on all future sales, and 5% of the company's equity. It didn't take long for Siminoff to turn the deal down and leave empty-handed. It was an unexpected blow for Jamie. His belief in his product took a huge hit. His motivation to move forward was at an all-time low, but everything was about to change. You see, Jamie's appearance on Shark Tank had given him just enough exposure for viewers to get interested. In a couple of months, his sales began to skyrocket. Siminoff then focused on improving the technology, building partnerships, and finding new investors. He refused to let the rejection get in the way of success. The biggest moment for the entrepreneur came in 2018 when Amazon acquired Ring for $1 billion. The insane sale solidified his presence in the technology industry forever. In a poetic turn of events, Jamie then returned to Shark Tank. He walked off without a deal then, only to return to the show as a millionaire investor. Whoa! His journey proves that rejection is never the end of a dream, but just fuel to move on to the next chapter. His invention currently brings in roughly $577 million a year. To this day, this remains one of the biggest missed opportunities on Shark Tank. And this next one comes to a close second. We're talking about Chef Big Shake. This one is another incredible story of an entrepreneur who found success after facing rejection. Chef Sean Davis came on Shark Tank in 2011. His journey began with a simple inspiration. His daughter wanted to become a vegetarian but still loved seafood. So, Davis got to work. He wanted to find success as a father and also as a chef. That's exactly when he came up with the idea of shrimp burgers. It was something that was not yet in the market. His product was tasty and attracted customers who were looking for something different. Now, even though his product was doing good on its own, Davis wanted to take it to the next level. And just like Jamie, he needed investment for it. So, he reached the Shark Tank stage. His pitch was straightforward. He asked for $200,000 for a 25% equity stake of the company. Sean knew that the product would blow everyone's mind. Still, the Shark Tank investors didn't think so. For them, the idea was interesting, but Mark Cuban and Barbara Corcoran were worried about the scalability of the product. On the other hand, Kevin O'Leary didn't think the product was making enough profit to justify the investment. In the end, they all tapped out. Davis left without a deal, feeling the pressure of rejection on his shoulders. But after the episode aired, angel investors seized the opportunity by offering Davis $500,000. That was more than enough investment to kickstart his dream. The chef began to work even harder. He refused to let the rejection faze him and instead started to scale up his business. He expanded his product line and started growing his grocery store relationships. He was then able to secure big partnerships with companies like Costco. Within a year, his company hit $5 million in revenue. The company is now a giant in the food industry. All because Davis refused to give up on his idea. In 2017, Cuban admitted that he regretted not investing in food innovation. Sean Davis' journey has taught millions around the world that rejection doesn't have to be the end. Now, moving on to our last entrepreneur in this video, we're talking about James Martin. This entrepreneur is the proud owner of Copa di Vino, a wine brand all of us know about. You see, during a trip to France, James saw how wine was served by the glass. It was a concept that was unheard of in the United States. So James quickly realized he had $1 million idea in his hand. And the second he got back to the USA, he started working to change that idea into a reality. He knew that once investors realized the potential for a product that could allow them to enjoy a single serving of wine without having to open a full bottle, they would want to invest. After all, it was a game changer. So in 2011, James Martin appeared on Shark Tank for the first time. He presented his pitch and explained that he was seeking $600,000 in exchange for 30% equity in his company. The sharks were definitely interested. But then things took a turn when it became clear that Martin wanted a partner who was as passionate about this, and not just money. Soon after, negotiations broke down completely. No deal was made, and the entrepreneur had to walk away empty-handed. James wanted to build the company on his own terms. This was something that didn't sit right with the sharks. A year later, he once again pitched his product to the investors on Shark Tank, this time seeking $300,000 for 5% equity. The only difference? Copa di Vino now had $5 million in revenue. The sharks were once again interested, but just like the first time, Martin clashed with the sharks about the vision of the company. And for the second time, he left without a deal, something that was unusual in the world of Shark Tank. But even without the investors from the show in his corner, James was able to work things out in his favor, all because of his determination and hard work. He was able to take the company to new heights. So much so that he was able to generate $25 million in revenue by 2014. His company didn't even need investment from outside sources at this point. The exposure from his appearances on the show had given him enough brand recognition. The viewers were interested to try out his invention, and the company's sales continued to soar. The convenience the one wine glass idea brought was unmatched. But all of this was possible because James didn't back down. He stuck to his ways and made his company successful on his own terms. Even though it took him longer to get the product out there commercially, still his determination paid off. Later on, Kevin O'Leary even called Martin the one that got away, and we can imagine that nowadays wine might taste a little less sweet to Mr. Wonderful. So what's the lesson in all of this? Well, it's pretty clear. The road to success is full of hurdles, but if you put in the effort, it will always pay off. Well, that's it from my side today, folks. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more motivating stories like this. Let me know which story we should cover next. Until next time, dream big and take action.